Wind Energy by A.J. Bartlett in Miss Brockschmidt's second hour physics class. This is a simple diagram showing how the wind turbine works. The wind goes into the turbine, spinning the rotator, and in turn spinning the low-speed shaft. This turns the gearbox and eventually turning the generator, which produces the electricity and transmits it out to the general public. There's a variety of types of wind power. However, the two major ones are vertical axis turbine and horizontal axis turbine. The vertical axis turbines, as you can see, are on a vertical axis and do not need to be turned toward the wind because they can be blown from all angles depending on which way the wind is flowing. However, the horizontal axis turbines tend to be the most popular and do need to be facing the wind. However, tend to produce more energy depending on which way they're facing. The ideal location for these wind turbines tend to be places with a great deal of wind, such as hilltops and mountains, flatlands, home rooftops, or any large body of water. The reason being is obviously the wind turbines need wind or a great deal of wind in order to turn them to be effectively producing energy. The advantages and disadvantages of wind power are that wind power is very cost effective. Once you purchase the original $800 wind turbine, it tends to not have many flaws that go along with it, requiring very little maintenance. It's also much cleaner for the environment than fossil fuels. It's much safer than fossil fuels, being that there are very little chance of explosions or any other fires that may result from fossil fuels. It's also renewable energy. Fossil fuels tend to run out at some point in time, while the wind will continue to blow no matter what. The disadvantages are the wind is unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to have high levels of wind and low levels of wind, also not being able to tell you when you will have the most energy. It also requires large amounts of space. The home versions of these, however, are not quite as big as the ones that require entire fields. There are some fields out in Nevada and Montana that take up close to 1,500 acres. They often must be located far from populated areas. The reason being, as I had previously stated, was because they take up so much room, they can't be located in cities, or they can be, however, not being able to produce as much energy as they need to. And lastly, the noise factor. They're told to be sounding like a small jet taking off whenever they are running, and they don't tend to be very quiet or located in populated areas. The startup and operating cost tends to vary between the home and the oceanfront wind turbines. For example, the home turbine, the field turbine, and the oceanfront turbine. The home turbine tends to cost between $800 to $2,000 depending on the style bought. The field turbines that tend to be 50 to 70 feet tall can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000. The oceanfront, or any located in a large body of water, can cost $1 billion or more in order to build an entire field of them to make them effective. The state of Missouri has already implemented multiple fields with these wind turbines. They're mainly located around and in the bigger cities, however do have some scattered throughout the state. The majority of them are located around the bigger cities simply to provide more energy and rely less on fossil fuels. Due to the cost and the fact that we do not currently have any of them installed in Washington, Missouri, or they are few or far between, they are yet to be installed due to the fact we are still relying on fossil fuels and do not see the need to change. Lastly, this is my works cited, and this is the second page of my works cited. Thank you.